Hey, what's going on, everybody? Samuel Akem here, and I'm back with another one. Today, we are breaking down North Dakota State versus South Dakota State. Not only is it a rivalry game, not only is it a Missouri Valley Football Conference game that could have big standings on who ends up winning the Missouri Valley, but also it was number 1 in the FCS versus number 2 in the FCS. 6-1 North Dakota State took on 5-1 South Dakota State. It was an amazing game. Now, if you're somebody who enjoys offense, this was not the game for you. But if you're somebody who is a football lover, somebody who loves the game of football, somebody who really likes the back and forth, the ebbs and flows of football, who really likes the mental game that these defensive coordinators were playing, Jimmy Rogers being a defensive coach of South Dakota State, they played really strong defense. But to me, what this game came down to was I just finished watching the Portland State game. What this game came down to was Cam Miller. Cam Miller being a difference maker. I mention it all the time. I don't get to break down a ton of North Dakota State games. I broke down the East Tennessee State game. I broke down the Montana-North Dakota State game last year. And one thing I've noticed every time I've watched Cam Miller, watch that East Tennessee State game. They did not play great. I mean, I don't think they played bad. East Tennessee State just had a really good game that game. Go back and watch that breakdown if you want to. But one thing I noticed about Cam Miller is when it's winning time, he shows up. Didn't have the greatest game yesterday. He completed 74% of his passes. He wasn't bad by any stretch. 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. They didn't run the ball very strongly. Only 112 rushing yards, 163 passing yards. So they weren't very successful offensively at all. You know, South Dakota State, their football team is going to do that to any football team. They play really strong defense. They're very sound on the defensive end. No necessary stars on their defense, but they just play very strong football. They play really good football. Cam Miller makes winning plays, 7 for 7 with a touchdown pass on the last drive to win the game for them. Just an amazing touchdown drive for Cam Miller. I'm a fan of this guy. And say what you want, when it came down to a head-to-head versus versus Cam Miller and why am I blanking on his name? Cam Miller and Mark Gronowski. Cam Miller came through in the end. Not to say Mark Gronowski didn't. He had his opportunities for sure. He did throw an interception in this game, and really, when you look back at a game like this that ends up being a 4-point game, 13-9, low-scoring game, turnovers are huge. In any football game, turnovers are huge, but in a game that's going to come down to the wire, a turnover like that is very, very huge. Mark Gronowski was 17 for 29, 118 passing yards, no touchdowns, an interception. They ran the ball very successfully, though. 5 for 80, 1 touchdown for Chase Mason, their backup quarterback, their Wildcat quarterback. There was an interesting play that happened. He was bringing the boom, and there was a scuffle. Mark Gronowski, 13 carries, 77 yards, no touchdowns. And then Mar Johnson, 13 carries, 41 yards. So they ran for 215 yards. They beat North Dakota State on the ground, but they didn't pass the ball super successfully. North Dakota State passed it a little better. Really, a lot of it was on that last drive, but they didn't run it successfully. Either way, it was a game that you expect from two rivals. We're going to be breaking it down right here. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Make sure you guys subscribe down below, and make sure you guys leave me a comment make sure you guys leave a like. Make sure you guys comment down below what your thoughts of this game were, and we will get straight into it. Okay, South Dakota State started off with the ball. Right away, Mark Gronowski is going to get out of the pocket, and he's going to try to find a receiver. Nobody's open. Looks like they're just trying to run quick little stick route from your tight end right here and out from your number 2 receiver, and probably a more fade from your outside receiver down here. Either way, nobody's going to be open. Mark Gronowski is going to eventually get the ball out of his hands, and it really seemed like he was past the line of scrimmage when he got this ball off, but you only have to have a body part behind the line of scrimmage when the ball leaves your hands, and it looks like that toe is behind the line of scrimmage, so that looks like a legal pass. I mean, I think they originally had thrown the flag, or at least they hesitated to talk about it, and then they ended up waving it off. Either way, 1st and 10 coming up for South Dakota State. They're going to keep it with their Wildcat quarterback, Chase Mason. So you see Mark Gronowski, he's doing the clapping. They both seem like they're kind of clapping right here. But Mark Gronowski's doing the clapping. He's going to fake handoff to him and keep it and get upfield. I mean, just one thing you notice in a game like this, and one thing I really noticed and really love to see, is something that I haven't seen a ton from a lot of teams this year, is, man, sound defense, great tackling at all times of the great effort, hustle to the ball, multiple hats to the ball on both sides of the ball. I mean, they cared. It was a great game to watch. Obviously, it was low scoring, not great for fans who are really, really big fans of of the game of football and just love to see points put up. But this is something that you saw from Mark Gronowski. Obviously, there's pressure on him, but just kind of missing things. I mean, this ball got off before he got contacted from this defender, and he just kind of airmailed it over his guy's head. Not to say, I mean, this could have been an easy 2nd and 4 conversion. Obviously, the North Dakota State defenders are going to rally to the ball, but he could have got them closer on 2nd and 4 right there, and Mark Gronowski just missed it a little bit. He was a little off at times yesterday. Not that he was completely off, but at times he was missing things yesterday. 3rd and 4 coming up. He's going to scramble and get the first down. Really good job there. Really good job there from Mark Gronowski to scramble and get the first down. Making plays when he had to. 1st and 10 coming up. They're going to hand off to Amar Johnson, and he's not going to get much on first down. Not going to get much. Really good from the North Dakota State defense. Really good right there. 2nd down coming up. 2nd and 6 coming up for South Dakota State. They're going to keep it with the quarterback. Quarterback's going to keep it. Looks like a little pin and pull in here. Got your guard pulling around. Mar Johnson being a lead blocker, and they get about 3 or 4 on 2nd down. 3rd and 2 coming up, and North Dakota State's going to get the stop. You see a lot of this, a lot of 3rd and 4th and short, or I'd say 3rd and shorts for South Dakota State and North Dakota State, and both defenses were there, ready to make the play. Man, it was amazing. Really good job right there from North Dakota State. Coming down, making the tackle. One thing I still haven't noticed, which is very disappointing to see, I still haven't seen Cole Wisnowski playing a game this year, and he is definitely a difference maker. Hopefully, if he's out for the season, he's able to get a medical and come back next year, because I know he's a great player. He makes plays. He's a tackler, but really good play right there on 3rd down for North Dakota State. South Dakota State is going to go for it. They're going to try to sneak it with their quarterback, and they're going to get called for a false start. So I don't know who went first. Looks like that left tackle kind of jumped, and they got him. Tough play right there for South Dakota State. They ended up kicking the field goal, and they were unsuccessful on that field goal. So that keeps it a 0-0 ball game. And if you really look back on it, that field goal might have ended up hurting them in the end. But, we'll see it play out. Bryce Lance in motion, and they're going to hand off to the receiver, or their running back, Pinu, who's going to get about 5 yards on first down. In a game like this, in a game where it's very hard to win the line of scrimmage, 5 yards on first down is a very good play. Very, very good play. Here you go. You're going to get Cam Miller with the RPO, getting your receiver out in the flats. 2 receivers blocking out in front of him. He's catching it behind the line of scrimmage, though, so that's legal, and he's getting upfield. Rajah Nelson ended up being their top receiver for North Dakota State. 4 receptions, 48 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 really, really big touchdowns. In a game where touchdowns were not easy to come by, 2 touchdowns is really big to come by. So here you go. Excuse me. 1st and 10 for North Dakota State. I'm going to try to get the ball off, and the D tackle of South Dakota State's going to get his big mid up and bat it down. Really good job there from South Dakota State. Here you go. 2nd and 10 coming up for North Dakota State. Little play action. Cam Miller's dropping back, getting it off to his receiver, who just out of the reach of his receiver. Tough play right there. So they're trying to run the two in routes out here. So in route by your number 2 receiver, and then your outside receiver is also going to run an in route as well at about 10 yards, maybe 10 to 12 yards. But Cam Miller has a good pocket, sitting back there, able to survey what he's got and gets it out to his receiver. It's just a little bit out of reach. There's a defender underneath, so he had to try to layer it in there, and then just unable to get it in there. Not on the same page right there. Tough play. They're going to punt it away. They're able to pin South Dakota State deep in their own territory. They're going to hand it off to Amar Johnson to start the drive, and he's going to cut it back and get good yardage on first down. That's what you're really looking for when you get backed up. You want to get 2 first downs. They got the first one right there, and good block from, Mark Gronowski is willing to lay it on the line, man. You don't see this from a ton of quarterbacks, and he's getting in there, getting a block, and allowing his running back to run behind him. Good first down run. 1st and 10 coming up for South Dakota State. Getting a little pressure in his face. He's getting it off to Amar Johnson, but really good rally from this North Dakota State defense. Look at this. As soon as they see where the ball is declared at, guys running, defensive tackles getting out there running. This is something that if you watch that Colorado game, I know after the game that Monday or Tuesday when Colorado got back, started watching the film, I know Coach Deion Sanders was giving praise to the North Dakota State defense, how they hustle and how they run to the ball, and as to why they win championships. And he's not lying. I mean, they run to the ball, they play hard. There's a culture that's set there, no matter who the head coach is, no matter who the players are in the jerseys. The culture is set, and it's really beautiful to see. Here you go. You're going to get a cover 2 right here on 2nd and 9. And they're going to hand it off to their running back, number 21, Angel Johnson. I always wonder if Angel Johnson and Amar Johnson are related. Either way, they get the tackle after he gains about 2 yards. 3rd and 6, so like a 3rd and medium coming up for South Dakota State. And dropping back, and they're running the mesh route inside. So mesh inside, you get the out down here. So it's really like a tight formation down here. You get your inside receiver, who I think that's number 18. I think that's Griffin Wild here, just in a hit formation. You get him on a quick out, and then most likely you're running this guy on a corner route. And then you run the mesh on the inside. They're sitting down because it's zone coverage, so there's nobody in here. You don't want to run to be covered on a mesh, so you don't continue to run into man. You sit down in zone. They sat it down in zone. Both of them probably could have got the ball. I like this one better. He's a little more open, but he gets the ball and falls forward for the first down. Really good job. Really good execution on 3rd and 6. 1st and 10 coming up for Montana or South Dakota State. Little offsides here from North Dakota State. They're going to get the naked boot. Not even naked. Really seems like they're just booting, but that tight end just got beat, man. Yeah, he just got swam around, and that gets the pressure in his face, and he's going to throw the ball away. Good play from Mark Gronowski to not make a bad play worse, but they had the offside, so it didn't really hurt anything. 1st and 5 coming up. They got their Wildcat quarterback in there, and North Dakota State's on it right here. Their quarterback only had 5 carries. He had 88 yards. That's probably close to 10 yards, 16 yards a carry. Really good job there from Chase Mason. But on this play, he's not going to get much of anything. Bringing up a 2nd and 3 for South Dakota State. Running a little power here, pulling that center around. And, man, I mean, just really strong tackling. He might have got the first down, but just the nothing is easy. There's no easy yardage in this game. And from a standpoint of just like noticing and recognizing effort and hard people playing hard, it's beautiful to see. I mean, nothing is easy in this game, and it was kind of a boring game to watch at times yesterday because it was just a lot of that, a lot of hard-fought yardage, a lot of hidden yardage in this game that's not going to necessarily show up on the stat sheet. But I mean, them playing hard that play before on 2nd and 3, not allowing it to be easy, getting him in the backfield before he even gets going, bringing up a 3rd and 1. Is what causes them to be able to stop them on 3rd and 1 and get him short of the line to gain. I mean, just a really, he might have got it though. They might have given it to him. Yeah, they gave it to him. 1st and 10. But just, I mean, once again, this 3rd and 1 was not easy. This 3rd and 1 was nowhere near easy. Gonna run a little power with their guard pulling around, and just, man, they're just fighting hard, getting around blocks and bringing them down. Really good job there. 1st and 10 coming up for South Dakota State. More power. And he's going to get hit in the backfield this time. A lot of hats around the ball. They're playing hard, getting through the line of scrimmage, trying to run that outside. It kind of looks like zone the way they're blocking it, but they're pulling their center around. Either way, man, a lot of green jerseys around, and they're going to bring him down for a tackle for loss. 2nd and 12 coming up for South Dakota State. Mark Gronowski's dropping back, and he's going to get it off to his tight end, who, once again, I mean, no missed tackles. No missed tackles in the open field. They get hands on him, they're bringing him down. And that's something I noticed from both teams in this game. Brings up a 3rd and 15, 3rd and long for South Dakota State. You don't want to make a bad play here. Probably just hand it off. And once again, no missed tackles. I mean, a lot of times this year, I've watched a ton of football this year, and these are tackles that are being missed by a lot of teams in FCS football. A lot of teams in college football, but for him to bring that guy down right there, great play right there. 1st and 10 for North Dakota State. Gonna hand it off on a stretch play here, and he gets really good yardage on 1st down. Get about 9 on 1st down. 2nd and 1 coming up for North Dakota State. They're going to hand it off, and they're going to get the 1st down. Stays true to it, doesn't give up on the play, and this is an inside zone right here, and eventually it opens up for him, and he gets a 1st down. Good job. But once again, not easy by any stretch. 1st and 10 coming up for North Dakota State, and he's getting the ball off to his receiver, and he catches it short of the 1st down. That brings up a 3rd and 1 a couple plays later. 30 seconds to go in the first quarter. Cam Miller's going to keep it and not get there. Really good play here from the safety coming in, shooting the gap, getting that tackle for loss. Really, really good job right there. Shoot the gap, man. This is amazing. Watch this guy come in, shoot the gap between that tackle and that tight end. Shoot the gap between the tackle and tight end. I think they actually brought in an extra lineman. It looks like they have an extra lineman in here. Yeah, so 1, 2. Here's your center. You got an extra big guy in there because you know you're going to run it. So you got 3 big linemen down here. You got your guard and tackle over here. Guard, tackle, extended tackle. He's probably in as a tight end or whatever. You got another tight end on the field. So it's really 13 personnel. 1, 2, 3. Counting him as another tight end. Either way, great play from the safety of South Dakota State. Really good play there. They punted, or that's going to end the first quarter. And North Dakota State's going to go for it on 4th and 2. They're going to get handed off, and man, like I said, a lot of 3rd and 2, 4th and 2s in this game, and both teams were up for the challenge. And right there, South Dakota State's going to stop them. North Dakota State was really like in that no man land area, you know, probably like a 40-something yard kick, 45, 46, 47 yard kick if they would have kicked it from here. I don't know what kind of kicker they have, but they decided to run it on 4th and 2, and they're not going to get anywhere. Really high-level play for South Dakota State defense. Here you go. 1st and 10, about 15 minutes to go in the quarter for South Dakota State. Little pressure in Mark Gronowski's face, and it's going to be a arid pass right there. Tough play right there, but here's some of the quick passes that he was missing on yesterday. Just a little bit. Not majorly, just missing a little bit. Then give it to him. Keep it with the quarterback keeper here. Pulling the I think that's the tackle. No, that's the guard. Guard is going to pull around, be a lead blocker. Amar Johnson gets a really good block here. Just laying your body in on there, and Mark Gronowski is able to get about 3 or 4. 3rd and 7 coming up. Mark Gronowski is going to drop back. He pumps it. Looks like he was going to hit the tight end right here. I wonder why he didn't like it. Seems like he was ready to throw a little bit before the tight end had declared his route. And he's going to end up trying to scramble to get the first down, and he's not going to be able to get there. It's a little short of the line of game. They punt it away. North Dakota State takes the ball back over. 13 minutes to go in the second quarter. Drop back pass for Cam Miller, and they get it off to his guy. Looks like they're running kind of like a spacing concept. So spacing right here, and then you get the horizontal stretch. He gets it off to the horizontal stretch, and they're able to come up with the tackle. No easy yardage here. No easy yardage anywhere. 2nd and 7 coming up. North Dakota State's going to hand it off on the stretch, and they're going to fall forward for about 2 yards. 3rd and 5 coming up for North Dakota State. Drop back pass for Cam Miller. They get it on the slant, and his receiver comes up with the ball. So you're running quick slants. You get your tight end on the inside slant. Number 2 receiver on a maybe not even a slant. Might be a box route here. Either way, it's tight coverage. Nothing was easy in this game for anybody. Tight coverage. Looks like man, and they just got these 2 linebackers in here kind of playing, or this linebacker in here just kind of playing a hook, trying to rob anything. And he's watching the quarterback's eyes. Either way, it might be a quarterback spy, honestly. He might be a spy. He's just watching the quarterback eyes, waiting for him to scramble. But it's a first down. Really good pass from Cam Miller. Really good completion. Really good catch from the receiver. Here you go, 1st and 10 coming up. Drop back pass for Cam Miller. He gets it off to his guy, Bryce Lance, who's going to get upfield and get about 8, 9 on second down. On first down, yeah. Comes up with a 3rd and 1. Looks like they have a ton of tight ends on the field. Looks like they're in heavy personnel. So once again, got that lineman on the field. They might have a receiver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so they probably have a receiver down here. 13 personnel, we'll call it. Cam Miller's going to keep it, and he's going to get the first down. Really good job there. Finding the hole. Looks like a type of outside zone play with the quarterback keeping it, and he finds the window in that run and is able to get the first down. 1st and 10 coming up. They're going to hand it off to Rajah Nelson, who's going to try to stretch it out, but good hustle from this South Dakota State defense. Really good hustle to not get out leverage. Really good play from this guy right here to make him bow it. Probably could have got a hold right there. They might have ended up calling it. We'll see if they did. But stretch it out as far as you possibly can and force him to get out of bounds before he's able to get any yardage. 2nd and 11 coming up for North Dakota State. He's going to get it off to his running back, Pinu, and he maybe gets a yard or 2. I thought they could have been justified for a late hit here. He did launch before he was out of bounds, but I thought I wouldn't have been mad if they would have given him a late hit. 1st and 10 coming up, 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. Looks like they're running just pulling their tight end around. Might be a split zone with their tight end. And not much. Maybe 2 yards, maybe a yard here on 1st and 10. 2nd and 8, they gave him 2. 2nd and 8 coming up. Drop back pass for Cam Miller. He's getting it off to Pinu. And, man, just a big-time collision. If you would have had the sound on, this was a big-time collision. And guy lowering his shoulder, trying to get more yardage. Linebacker fitting it up. This is a really good form tackle. I mean, they're both in the weight room. I mean, this is beautiful football right here. Beautiful. He gets about 4 yards. I thought they could have been justified for a late hit here. I think the refs did a good job of holding the flags here. They understand what kind of, high tensions are high. This is a rivalry game. I mean, I thought he would have been justified, though. I thought they would have been justified to get a late hit, and I thought they would have been justified to get unsportsmanlike right here on number 8. I thought that would have been a justified penalty. They didn't throw it. Oh, well. 3rd and 5 coming up for North Dakota State. Little low snap here, but he's going to get it off to his receiver, and he's just barely enough for the first down. I mean, I can't emphasize enough. I've said it this whole breakdown. Nothing was easy in this game. Nothing at all was easy in this game. Looks like a double slant concept. Looks like an out with a more fade down here. And they get it off to the outside receiver, number 1 receiver up top, and he gets the first down. 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for North Dakota State. And Cam Miller's going to throw a dot across the middle to Rajah Nelson for the touchdown. Really good job right there. Looks like an inside seam, maybe an inside. Looks like an inside seam, and he took it on a bender. So seam routes, a lot of times you have the seam, but you can bend it inside. So if you got too high here, you don't want to run to be covered. You don't want to run into this safety. So you're going to bend it inside of that safety and make a window for your quarterback to get the ball. And that's really what it looks like he did. Bend it in inside, and Cam Miller put the ball on him. Really, really good job there. Great execution, great ball from Cam Miller for the touchdown. Any touchdown you can get in this game was huge, and this touchdown is really going to end up being huge because North Dakota State's not going to score again until the 4th quarter. So every point they got in this game was huge. South Dakota State's got the ball back. 1st and 10, 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. They're going to hand it off to one of the Johnsons, and he's going to get 6 yards on first down. Good first down run. 2nd and 4 coming up. Get it out to him once again, and just hustle, man. Hustling to the ball. I mean, this pursuit, missed tackle, 100%. Really good spin move from the running back here. But just these guys are hustling, playing hard, man. They get him down very short of the line to gain. That brings up a 3rd and 1. They're going to hand it off to their they're going to keep it with their quarterback on the to Chase Mason. Chase Mason on the Wildcat. Fakes the handoff. Play they ran earlier, and they just happen to get the blocks. You got your receiver coming down here, getting the crack block on the safety. This is how you want these crack blocks to look. It's man coverage, so you want your receiver to come back and get the safety on a crack. He gets the safety, but you always hope that the corner goes with him, as he does, and that's going to open up the window for your runner. This case being a quarterback, and he's going to get the long touchdown run, 66-yard touchdown run. Really, really good job. Really, really good job. Mark Gronowski gets blown up, and I think that's what kind of starts some of the things. He pushes him down again, and now as Mason starts to bring the boom, they're going to start fighting. We got a happy Jackrabbits fan there, but they're going to get in a little tussle. I think they put it on here. They didn't put it on there. Oh well. But you saw him. He started to bring the boom. They started to get in a tussle, and it ended up being, a whole ordeal. Either way, really good run there from South Dakota State, but they're gonna have a blunder here. So they're gonna try to kick the field goal, and it's gonna end up getting blocked. Really good job of this D tackle. I mean, this is not a playoff. Coach Houck used to always say, this is not a playoff. You got to play hard because that defense, if they care, the biggest indication, this is something Coach Houck used to say too, the biggest indication of a football team is watch how hard they play on field goal. Watch how hard they play on PAT. After you've given up a score, you're probably tired. How hard are you going to go to try to block that kick? And North Dakota State is going hard to try to block that kick. That is a high character football team right there. And good job. This might end up, they're not going to play this whole play out. He ended up getting tackled by somebody in here, but it looked like he was going to score a touchdown. And this is probably a bigger play than you think of it, because this was, I think, going to be 2 points if he would have taken this back. So it would have been a 9-6 ball game. I don't know. That might have changed the complexion of the game. But once again, high effort by both teams. They don't give that. Nothing is given in this game. You got to earn everything you get in this game, and that's what I love to see. Really good run on first down. Probably one of the better runs that North Dakota State had yesterday. And he's going to get about 10 yards, 11 yards on first down. Really good job. 1st and 10 coming up, 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. They're going to hand it off to their running back, and it's a good run right here. Good run right here. Decent run, but a lot of Jackrabbit jerseys around him. 2nd and 7 coming up for Cam Miller. He's going to drop back, gets the ball off, and nothing to be had there. Really good pressure from South Dakota State. They brought a little pressure in. Their end is actually getting around the edge. Tackle ends up taking the backer, and the end gets free run to Cam Miller, and it causes the pass to be aired. 3rd and 7 coming up for South Dakota State. Looks like they're in a man coverage down here. Looks like that safety's dropping down into a curl flat or hook. And, man, try to get off to the running back. Once again, they get a little pressure in Cam Miller's face. Their tackle just completely gets run over, and it bounces off the face of the running back. That running back being Shamar Brown. 1st and 10, 3.5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Mark Gronowski seems like he's got time. He gets it off to the running back, Amar Johnson, who gets maybe 2 yards on first down. 2nd and 8 coming up. They're going to hand it off to Chase Mason, and he's going to get nothing here. I think the key, the one thing about having these Wildcat quarterbacks, which I always think is interesting, because North Dakota State has a Wildcat as well. Cole Payton, he does a few things. He had a couple of runs yesterday. He had 2 runs for 9 yards, but both these teams have Wildcat quarterbacks, and my thing is they rarely ever throw with them. So a lot of times when you bring them in the game, you know they're going to be keeping the ball, and it's kind of easy for a defensive coordinator to game plan against that. 2nd and 8, they're going to keep it with Chase Brown. He's going to get, I think, about 2 yards on second down, bringing up a 3rd and medium. 3rd and 6 coming up for South Dakota State. Mark Gronowski dropping back, gets a little pressure in his face, but he gets the ball off to his receiver, and it's completed for a first down. Who's that receiver? Number 80, Lofton Ogroski for the first down. Good ball, under pressure, got somebody bearing down on you, trying to bring you down, and he gets the ball off. Good job to stay poised in the pocket. Really good job there from Mark Gronowski. 1st and 10, following the 2-minute timeout. Mark Gronowski is going to get it off to his runner. A lot of checkdowns to the running backs, man. Both teams playing a lot of coverage, keeping everything in front of you, not trying to give you the big play, trying to take the big play away and just rallying to make the tackle. Really good job there. 3rd and 3 coming up for South Dakota State. And looks like they're getting a zone again. Once again, looks like they're in a cover 3. North Dakota State's in a cover 3. And Mark Gronowski thinks about scrambling. He's going to keep his eyes downfield. Ends up getting it to the receiver, Angel Johnson, to the running back, Angel Johnson, and he's going to get for it for the first down. Good job for Mark Gronowski to keep his eyes downfield and know that he has his check down right there. And that keeps the chains moving. 53 seconds to go in the second quarter. 1st and 15. Drop back pass for Mark Gronowski, who's going to scramble out of the pocket and take what he can get. Doesn't see anything once again. North Dakota State playing coverage, keeping everything in front of them. Mark Gronowski noses it fairly quickly and gets upfield. Great job there. 1st and 10 coming up. 40 seconds to go. And really good tackle from North Dakota State. Really, really good tackle there. Really, really good tackle there. Linebacker coming down, making a play. Watch him right here. Linebacker going to get in there. It might even be a safety coming down. That's a safety making the tackle in the backfield or at the line of scrimmage. Really good job there. Really, really good job there. 1st and 10 coming up for North Dakota State following. South Dakota State ended up kicking the field goal, and it was good, bringing it to a 9-7 ball game. Not good for North Dakota. The one reason this isn't good for South Dakota State, they missed that PAT. Now it's only a 2-point lead for them. So if it came down to the wire, North Dakota State could essentially kick a field goal and win 10-9, and South Dakota State would be kicking them because they're looking back on that field goal, on that PAT, and thinking, dang, we should have made that PAT. Just something, food for thought as we go along this breakdown. 1st and 10 coming up at the start of the third quarter, and it's going to be a good run for North Dakota State to start the game, to start the second half. 2nd and 3 coming up for North Dakota State, and he's going to get downhill, and it's going to be the longest run for Pinu, the longest run for South Dakota State North Dakota State in this game of 17 yards. That was the longest run of the game. That was the longest run of the game for them. The longest run of the game, obviously, for South Dakota State was that 66-yard touchdown run from Chase Mason. Here you go. He's getting outside, and he's going to get decent yardage. I think that's TK Marshall on the run. He gets about 5 yards, 4 yards on first down. 2nd and 6 coming up. Cam Miller's dropping back. He's going to scramble and get the first down. Obviously, Cam Miller can use his legs at a high level. He didn't yesterday. I guess 9 rushed for 24 yards, so not one of his better rushing outputs. I know in that East Tennessee State game, he had a really good game on the ground, but he's getting enough. He does enough. He's able to do enough to keep drives moving. Here you go. You got Cole Payton in the game, and just like I mentioned with Chase Brown of South Dakota State, you got to try to incorporate some passes with these guys, because a lot of times these defenses, they understand. They watch film. They all make scouting reports. Really good push from this defensive tackle. I mean, oh my gosh, this guard. My goodness. But a lot of times these guys are watching the scouting reports. They watch film. They know when these guys come in the game, they're keeping the ball most likely. You're going to get your tight end blocking out in front of him for him, pulling this tackle around, getting your tight end out as a lead blocker. He gets a good block. It's a good run, man. That's a good run on first down. Gets about 6 on first down, bringing up a 2nd and 4. Cam Miller's back in the game. He's going to hand it off and rally from the South Dakota State defense. They bend, but they do not break, and, they're getting there. Really good play here. Guys getting to the ball, hustling around. Great tackle right there. Brings up a 3rd and 3 for North Dakota State. They're going to hand it off to their guy, and he gets a first down. Not even hand it off. They're going to keep it with Cole Payton, who's going to follow the running back and get the first down on 3rd and 3. Good job. 1st and 10 coming up. Cam Miller back in the game. Court running back's going to slip, and, man, slip was partly caused by, it looked like, I don't know, maybe he just tripped over his feet. Oh, he tripped on Cam Miller's foot. Tough right there. Tough. And he's still able to fight to maybe get like half a yard. 2nd and 10 though. Drop back pass for Cam Miller. He gets it off to his receiver, and his receiver is going to do enough to maybe get them about 5, 6, maybe 7, 5 or 6 on the pass. That's Chris Harris right there. He had 5 receptions for 41 yards. That was their second leading receiver for North Dakota State. 3rd and 6 coming up. Cam Miller's dropping back, getting it off to the running back in the flats, but really good high-level play here from South Dakota State, who's going to bring him down short of the line again on 3rd and 4. Short of the line. So they're going to kick the field goal, and it's going to be no good. It was wide right, and I don't think it had enough leg. It was a little short of the upright, and it's going to be no good. So 9-7 ball game. Field goals really would have been the difference maker in this game. South Dakota State has a missed field goal. North Dakota State now has a missed field goal. It's still a 9-7 ball game. South Dakota State also has a blocked PAT. 8 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. It's been a lot of defense, man. Amar Johnson's going to get the handoff on the outside. And he's getting really good yards on first down. 1st and 10 coming up. Mark Gronowski dropping back. He's just going to airmail the ball away, getting pressure in his face. Amazing that the end was still able to get there facing a double team, 2-on-1. But I guess it was really a 1-on-1, and the guard just kind of helped him get around there. He didn't know where Mark Gronowski was going to end up, but Mark Gronowski is just going to throw the ball out of bounds. 2nd and 10 coming up. They're going to hand it off to their running back, Amar Johnson, who's going to get maybe a yard on 2nd down. Brings up a 3rd and long for South Dakota State. I got to guess North Dakota State's going to play coverage. Looks like they're getting in a Tampa 2 here. The thing that gives away the Tampa 2 is that linebacker. As soon as he turns to get in that deep middle, you got 2 high safeties. They're also trying to get off those hashes. Half field safety, a flat defender, and a flat defender up here. Brings you your Tampa 2 look, and he gets it into the hands of his receiver, Griffin Wild or Wildy, and he gets maybe 5 on 3rd down. Not enough for the first down. They punt it away and get it back to North Dakota State. Cam Miller dropping back, getting the slant off to his receiver, number 1, Braylon Henderson, who had 3 catches for 30 yards. So decent output from 3 of their receivers, 3 for 30, 5 for 41, and 4 for 48 for Rajah Nelson, and 2 touchdowns. Not a bad game. Handing off to their running back, Pinu, and he's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 2. I mean, guys play downhill really fast, get to the ball. When they notice that the ball has declared, they're going to make the tackle. Really good job on 2nd and 2. 3rd and 1 coming up for North Dakota State. Cam Miller's going to keep it, and he's going to get tackled short of the line of game. Once again, those 3rd and 1s, those 3rd and shorts, I mean, guys are getting to the ball fast. Watch this D tackle get around the guard here, swim the guard. Really good swim move, really good hands right here from this. I mean, this is an amazing play. Really good. getting around also that tight end, getting around him. Could have tackled the tight end, but it's going to decide to tackle the quarterback, and 52 made the play right there. Great job from number 52. Let's watch that play full out once again. Watch the swim move with the hands. The hands is what really wins it right here. The hands, gets around, gets Cam Miller, and tackles him short on a 3rd and 1, man. Really good job there. They punted away. South Dakota State got the ball back. 4 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Looks like they were trying to run a double. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. Looks like they were trying to run a double pass here with Chase Mason. He's not going to see anybody downfield. He's just, I mean, this is insane. For him to throw this late, I mean, brother, he was so past the line. Obviously, an illegal pass downfield, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11 for South Dakota State. Amar Johnson's going to get the outside handoff on the outside zone, and they got really good penetration. This is what you want to do on these outside zone plays. Get that. Don't let them run you down the line of scrimmage. You got to really penetrate and get them in the back. Make that running back stop his feet, and that's exactly what they do right here. Make the running back stop his feet, hesitate. He's still able to get around, though, and get good yardage. He gets about 4 on 2nd down. 3rd and 7 coming up. Man, ball's tipped right here. You drop your end out. Looks like Mark Gronowski was just going to throw the quick hitch right here to your tight end, and that end messed up the party. He tipped the ball, and it ends up being an incomplete pass on 3rd and 7. 4th and 7 coming up. If you know, you know. Look at the celebration. 1st and 10 for North Dakota State. 3 minutes to go in the game. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. A little naked boot here from North Dakota State. Cam Miller getting out and trying to take a deep shot to his receiver, which is complete to Chris Harris. Really thought he could have had a pretty decent play if he would have got it out to the flats here. I mean, he's got nothing but green grass in front of him. Instead, he's going to take the deep shot and get the guy on the wheel route down the sidelines. It's a good ball. He notices the mismatch with the linebacker or safety. I think this is like a nickel or safety. Not so sure, but Chris Harris is a better athlete than this guy, and he's able to get him down the sidelines and get the big time play on 1st and 10. Really good job. Really good job there. I guess they called it incomplete. They must have called this incomplete. I think his feet were out of bounds. They must have called him incomplete, though, because it's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Tough play there. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. They're going to hand it off to the running back, and the South Dakota State defense is right there. Defensive tackles making the play. 52 once again getting in there, getting that guy off him. I mean, 52 is wrecking shop. Putting hands on that guard, being very physical with his hands. He's using really good hand work here. Hands in the defense in the guard's chest. Extend, get him off you, and make the tackle. Really high level play there from number 52. 3rd and 9 coming up for North Dakota State. Drop back pass. Cam Miller's going to get pressure in his face, and it's going to bring up a sack. Really good blitz from, I believe that's Adam Bach, number 32. 7th or 8th year player coming off the edge and getting to the quarterback. Really good job there. Really good job there. They're rushing 6. Got 5. One's going to rush a little later, but Adam Bach's coming off the edge and making the play. Really good job. 1st and 10 coming up. 1.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. And Mark Gronowski's going to keep it. Getting around the edge. Good block from that center right there, number 50. Watch him. He's pulling around. Little pin and pull action. Pulling your guard and pulling your center around. As your lead blockers, your guard gets that edge man and seals him off. And then your center is getting out in front and getting a good block. Great job right there on 1st down. Bringing up a 2nd and 3 for South Dakota State. And Angel Johnson is going to run for the 1st down on 2nd and 3. Really good job. End of the 3rd quarter. It's a 9-7 ball game. Now, if you notice something, South Dakota State had 9 points to start the 4th quarter, or had 9 points to start the 2nd half. They ended the 1st half with 9-7 lead. They have not put up any points. They have been able to move the ball a little bit, but man, like these defenses playing at a high level. South Dakota State needs to find a way to even get a field goal on the board, even get some points on the board, and they just have been unable to during the entirety of this game. So you got a little, trying to see what formation we got here. Looks like there's 2 guys in the backfield. Not so sure their positioning. Oh, that's the quarterback. So that's Chase Mason and a tight end and then a running back. So 3 backs. It's really 03 personnel or 30 personnel. 3 backs, no tight ends, 2 receivers. Going to get a boot. Not even a boot, but a play action pass. And he's not going to be able to find anybody. He's going to throw it out of bounds on 2nd and 10. That brings up a 3rd and long for South Dakota State. Fake the pitch and tries to get it back to him. But once again, he's going to end up throwing it out of bounds. So 1st and 10, really good coverage from this North Dakota State defense. I mean, many times Mark Gronowski's trying to find somebody downfield, and he's unable to. This honestly makes me think of, some of the deficiencies that might exist for this South Dakota State team. We may be able to get into that in the end of this breakdown, but I think this is the first time outside of the Oklahoma State game that South Dakota State has really seen a high-level team that can really match up with them defensively and offensively. And it seems like weapons-wise, offensively, North Dakota State has a few more weapons than South Dakota State. Obviously, they still have Mark Gronowski, who's a great player, but their running back is not Isaiah. Their receivers aren't the Yankee Bros, or their tight end isn't that Hines. It just seems like their weapons are a little less than they have had for the last couple of years. Good run from quarterback Cam Miller. Next, you're going to get a run from your running back in here, and he's not going to get anything. Tackled for maybe a gain of a yard, bringing up a 3rd and short. 3rd and 2 for North Dakota State. Drop back pass for Cam Miller, who's going to get the ball off to his receiver, number 1. Can't remember the penalty they called here, but it was a really good route from his receiver down here. Cannot remember the penalty they called. Cannot remember. Oh, yeah, they called a hold. They called a hold right here. Hold. He's going to hold him, tackle him, and they called a hold. Tough play right there. Brings up a 3rd and 9 for North Dakota State. And they get the ball off to the receiver, who's going to make the catch, but is going to be short of the line to gain. Tough play right there. Tough play for North Dakota State, who's going to punt it back. And honestly, a pretty decent punt because, they were pretty backed up here for where they would have been punting from. And for them to be able to get the South Dakota State onto their own 40 is a pretty decent punt. Pretty decent punt there. 1st and 10, 12 and a half minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And they're going to hand it off to Wild. And that ends up being a pass. So it's going to go down as a reception because he tossed it to him. So a reception and good tackle. Great tackle here from the North Dakota State safety. Sees it, triggers. Good eye discipline here from the defense. They obviously a good eye discipline here from the safety because outside of him, if this guy would have bit on this and went this way and thought that they potentially handed it off, this could have been a big chunk play. You got a really good block out here from your tight end. And outside of that, who's going to stop that? Nobody. Nobody is there to stop that. Here you go. 12 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. You're going to keep it with Mark Gronowski and a rare missed tackle here for North Dakota State. And he's getting upfield. Good yardage right there. 1st and 19 coming up. They must have got a hold on this play then. Must have got a hold somewhere. I don't see it, but somebody must have held. And, oh yeah, they might have called this. I don't know. Either way, it's going to bring up a 1st and 19. And Amar Johnson's going to run and get nothing, man. These are the penalties that really hurt you. You get a 1st and 19 after, you can't get it behind the chains on teams like North Dakota State. In a game like this, a rivalry game, an in-conference game, every high stakes from all aspects, you can't do that. You just can't do that. 3rd and 12 coming up. Drop back for Mark Gronowski. He's going to get the ball off to his receiver, number 12, Graham Goring. Gets the 1st down. 1st and 10 coming up. 8.5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Handing it off to your running back, Amar Johnson, who's not going to get anywhere. Linebacker for North Dakota State is going to make a really good tackle. Great tackle right there. Guys tackling at a very high level on this North Dakota State squad. It's beautiful to see. It's very beautiful to see. Here you go. Drop back pass for Mark Gronowski, who's going to be very, very patient, looking for a hole on 3rd and 10. And he's eventually going to find one, but he's going to be down short of the line to gain. They're going to punt it away. They must have had a penalty, which is tough right here because they're down right outside of right outside of the 20, which would have been in field goal range. And then next thing you know, you got a 4th and 17, way backed up. I don't know what happened. Must have been an unsportsmanlike or something, but tough play right there. Either way, they're going to punt it away, and they're going to try to pin North Dakota State. And they are going to pin North Dakota State inside their 10-yard line. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the drive that Cam Miller's going to put on a show. He's going to put on a show. He's going to go 7 for 7. Can't remember how many yards he threw this drive. Maybe they have it in the game cast. But he threw 7 for 7. He completed 7 for 7 of his passes, and he's going to finish the drive off with a touchdown to Rajon Nelson. It was a beautiful drive. Really good drive from Cam Miller. They don't have it in the – let me see if we can go to the play-by-play. Really good drive, though. What I'm trying to get at is it was a really good drive from 10 plays. Started at 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Yeah, so I think this is the drive right here. Either way, on 2nd and 9, get the ball off to your receiver. Can't see number 1. Your receiver, number 1, cannot remember his name. Braylon Henderson for the first down. 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Drop back pass for Cam Miller. Getting off to your running back, who's going to get upfield, short of the line to gain at about 9 yards. And mind you, this drive happens when North Dakota State, neither team has really had super offensive success. It's been a really grueling defensive ball game. Yardage has been very hard to come by, but when they needed it the most, when they had to have it, when they needed to win, Cam Miller put together a drive. And that is my forever sentiment about Cam Miller. The dude makes winning plays when they have to be made. Right here, you're going to get the little triple option type play, run, pass option. He's got the guy in the flats. Seems to have his guy out leveraged. Good play from Cam Miller to keep it and find a way to get the first down. Really good job there on 2nd and 1 to get the first down. 1st and 10, 4 minutes to go in the game. Cam Miller's going to drop back, scramble away, and find his receiver, Rajon Nelson, who's not going to get much of anything. 1st and 10, 2.5 minutes to go in the game, and they're going to run it to their running back, Shamar Brown. Shamar Brown's going to get upfield and get the first down on 1st and 10. Really good run there. Now you got a 2nd and 8, a minute 55 to go in the game. You're going to get the fade route. Now, one thing, this is a slot fade because there's another receiver on the outside. So your number 2 receiver, Rajon Nelson, this is going to be the touchdown, the go-ahead touchdown for North Dakota State. And I thought they could have let a little bit more time run off the clock. I thought they were going to play for the field goal. But I guess in their mind, if they go for the field goal, that leaves them liable to get beat if South Dakota State gets the ball back, gets in field goal range, and kicks the field goal. So I'm not so much mad at this play to go for the touchdown. I thought they had the ability to maybe shoot some more time off the clock, and I think if they would have been incomplete on this touchdown pass, they would have tried to just run the clock down as much as they could. But you run the chance of stopping the clock here as well. So there was a lot on the line with this throw, and Cam Miller put an absolute dime on it. I mean, a beautiful pass on the slot fade. Not bad coverage from South Dakota State, just a better ball from Cam Miller. Amazing. Game-winning plays. I'm talking about game-winning plays right here. And he throws the game-winning touchdown right there, 2 feet down. That catch is good on Sundays, and they're going to win the game. Really good job there. Really good job there. Amazing play from Cam Miller to get the touchdown. They go for the 2-point conversion. They are unsuccessful. South Dakota State got the ball back. They weren't able to put a drive together, and North Dakota State's going to win the marker game 13-9, and they're going to move up to the number 1 spot, most likely in the country. South Dakota State, I guess, would probably fall to 3. Montana State's probably going to move up to 2. They are undefeated. And they have an FBS win on their schedule. They have a few ranked wins on their schedule as well. South Dakota State's still a really good team, as you can see. Not as much firepower as they have had in previous years. I don't think either team has a ton of firepower, but it was a really good game against the number 1 versus 2. North Dakota State is the team to beat right now. I mentioned last year at the end of the season and this year all off season that I thought North Dakota State was going to be the team to beat. They played Colorado all the way down to the wire, and up until outside of that East Tennessee State game, they've looked really good. So I'm excited to see how the season ends up for North Dakota State. I'm excited to see how it ends up for South Dakota State. Both of them still have to play South Dakota. Both of them still have to play I think South Dakota State still has to play North Dakota and South Dakota. So we'll see how those games end up. But North Dakota State right now is at the top of the charts, at the top of the Missouri Valley, at the top of the FCS polls, and they're going to be looking down on everybody else. So you guys let me know what you guys thought about this game. Leave me a comment down below. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe if you are not. I do a ton of FCS breakdowns. Looking to get into some FBS breakdowns, but FCS is where I've made my bones, and I love breaking down FCS football. So make sure you guys support the channel. A subscribe goes a long way. A view, a share goes a long way as well. Make sure you guys hit the notification bell so you guys never miss a video, and I will catch you guys next time. See you later.